Alright, boys and girls, sorry you missed class on Friday. This is what we did. This is just one of the problems that we can use the law of cosines for. In class, what we did was we had two sides and an angle between them. Now we could also use the law of cosines if there's three sides. So the first thing we want to do is you could solve for any of the angles. It doesn't matter which one you want, but the first thing, I'm going to go ahead and label my sides A, B, and C, and then the length of the sides across from them, this would be C, this would be A, this one would be B. So the first thing we have to figure out is what angle do we want to find out for? So Drew, what do you think? What angle do we want to find out for? Alright, so Drew says we want to find angle B. So we're going to put a big theta there. Now, since we're trying to find angle B, we're going to use the equation that has cosine B. And that would be B squared is equal to A squared plus B squared, C squared, I made a mistake, thank you guys, okay, minus 2 times AC times cosine B. And now let's go ahead and put in the information we know. Do we know B squared? Yes. So it would be 40 squared, which is what? What is it? 1,600, which equals, now, go ahead and do this all together. Do A squared plus C squared. So 25 squared plus 19 squared is what total? 986 minus 2, and let's go ahead and we'll combine A times C, which would be 25 times 19, which is 475, and we got to multiply that by cosine B. So first thing, let's go ahead and combine these. 2 times 475 is 950 times cosine B minus 986 equals 1,600. Now, one of the things that I see most students doing is combining these right here, and that's a mistake. Because if you combine these right here, you got to remember, this is 950 times cosine B. So you can't really combine these. So we're going to first move 986 to the other side. So we're going to subtract 986 on both sides. And we get 614, thank you Jennifer Sachs. And you get negative 9, she says you're welcome, negative 950 cosine B. Now at this point, we're trying to solve for what is angle B. So let's get rid of this times negative 950 by dividing both sides by negative 950. Now you're going to get a negative answer, but it's okay. So what's 614 divided by negative 950? Negative 0.67. Now does that go on forever? Is it 0.67? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do dot, 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 but we're going to leave that whole number in our calculator, which equals, it's 65? 0.65? Okay. Okay. Alright, so that was Jennifer making a mistake, just so we have that on tape. So now we're going to go ahead, it's cosine B. Well, this is not where you're going to divide by cosine. We're going to do, we got to get, pretty much separate the angle and when you do the cosine. So we're going to do the inverse cosine to both sides. So you already have this number on your calculator, so just do inverse cosine, second answer. And then that would mean angle B, or pretty much theta. 100 what? 130.26. You don't want to do a dot, dot, dot here because it's our final answer. So we're going to say angle B is about this many degrees. Now, folks, do not do anything with this number. Leave this on your calculator. And at this point, we just found this angle right here. Okay? Now, we got to find out another angle. Let's go ahead and find out angle C now. But what I don't want you to do is use your calculator. In fact, put your calculator down, and we're going to think about the law of sines. Because now, what we have is we have two sides and an angle across from one of the sides. So we can use the law of sines. So since we already have this angle, we're going to say this number, which is 100, we're going to say sine 130.26 dot, dot, dot. Don't take it out of your calculator. Over, this is across from the side that's 40, equals, and then at this point we could just pretty much take, any other one. What other angles do we know? Sine theta, we don't know that angle, over this side, which is 19. So basically what you're going to do, and let me go ahead and erase this over here so that we have enough room. But you already have, remember, that 130 and 2600ths is a rounded number. So you don't want to do anything with it. Let's go ahead and we're just going to cross multiply and get sine 130.26 ... times 19, which equals 40 times sine theta. All right, so let's divide both sides by 40. I'm just going to go ahead and be lazy and just do that all in one step. And now, because we have sine theta, how are we going to get the other angle? Well, we're going to take this whole thing and we're going to do inverse sine, and that will get us what theta is. Now, guys, you already have this number written in your calculator. It's the whole number. You want to leave it in there. Just go ahead on your calculator. You're going to do times 19, enter. Then take that result, that product, and you're going to divide by 40. Then hit enter. And then at the very end, go ahead and do inverse sine second answer. So you do inverse sine of that answer. And you get what answer there? About 21.25 degrees. So now you got this angle, 21.25. So now you have two of the angles, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to round a little bit. Take this answer, add it to our first answer, which was 130.26, and that'll get you the two angles added up. So what do you do to get the third angle? We're going to do 180 minus this answer, and that will get us what for our final degree? About 28.49 or 28 and 49/100 degrees. And there is how you're going to use the laws of cosines and the law of sines to get the angles when you have three sides.